Well, hello everybody. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
It has been a busy week for us,
Mhm.
and I suppose for all of you as well.
Mm.
Happy Halloween.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody stay safe.
Don't eat any needles.
Yep.
Is that what you got to say?
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay. Well, I hope all of you are sitting at the live and look, I wore the Be Kind shirt. Look at that.
What is that? What is that? Socks?
Now you guys want to see what I used?
Socks. Well, that's hard.
Onions.
Oh my god. Yep.
Onions.
Yep.
Yeah. Welcome to the farm life, right?
Yeah. Well, we have an abundance of those.
Yeah, we do have abundance, don't we? Yeah.
Wonderful. I'm here with my milk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, let's get some hellos in. How about that? You want to
You want me to do it?
help me out? Yep.
Okay, I'll do it. All right. First, Starlit Oak, welcome in. Good to see you. As is American Roots Farm, Jess and Joe. Good to see you guys. Terminator, Yad, welcome in. Louise Wesley, welcome in. Good to see you. Jane, good to see you. You want to do that? Do what I do.
And the greatest name on the internet.
Half Bubble Upload, welcome in. The King Jeff, you want to try it?
Jeff, Gypsy, Hefty, Lefty, Amazon, Mudobber, Slick.
Phyllis. Dana Green, good to see you. RN, how's Alabama? Lisa, welcome in. Nitos, good to see you. Aljo and Barbara, good to see you guys. Indiana Mike, how you doing, buddy?
Ahoy.
Carrie Davis says that I'm adorable. Okay, look at that.
Yep. Smart lady.
Yep. Hey, my buddy Mo's in the house. Good to see you.
That'd be my buddy Mo.
Your buddy Mo, that's right. No pitchforks, Dana says. Yep. Is Tag a trad wife? I am a trad wife. You're supposed to answer that. Are you a trad wife?
Are you a trad wife?
American Root says, I can't even right now. I'm laughing so hard. Look at that.
Gross.
Yep. Jamie says, I never thought you would have transitioned. Yep.
Yep. Look at this beautiful baby smooth face.
I know, it's been a while, huh?
I know.
Yep. Squatchy, welcome in. Jesus, good to see you. All right. I think I'm caught up for now.
Wonderful. So what do you got going on?
Well, I got a lot. Let's start with you because we switched roles and you wrote the list tonight.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we've been winterizing. Good thing you learned how to open your milk. That's great. What are you doing?
We switched cups.
There's a straw in it.
In it?
Yeah, I got me a straw, right? Well, were you tipping it up like a baby bottle? There you go. There you go.
All right.
Suck it on your baby bottle.
It ought to be an interesting night for sure. Right?
Yep.
Julia, welcome in. Good to see you. Instigator, hello. Instigator says, I think witness protection may need a bit more disguise.
I think you did great.
Hey, look at that. Mrs. Hack says Hax is home from the hospital.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Gypsy says
thoughts are with you guys.
Baby bottle for a baby face.
Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So B's going to be Tag, and Tag's going to be B tonight, at least somewhat, right? You agree?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's our Halloween.
And being authentic is right? I mean,
no.
I
don't know what you got up your sleeve.
Always got something.
Yep.
Terminator says, I love the new Tag. You are so funny, B, and your new look is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I always thought I wanted her with hair on her face.
There you go.
Yeah.
You like my bangs?
Yeah. How many of you guys dressed up for Halloween? I would assume some.
We didn't have to spend anything.
No. Nope. Couple onions.
Tag already had that wig.
Yep. Gypsy said maybe we'll actually get some good news. I actually got some amazing Tag has some amazing news for you tonight, Gypsy, just for you. Right? Anyway, so what went on in your week?
Well, I could see your mouth. What went on in your week? Well, I had Louise over. Louise came and helped me trim goat feet, which I'd never done before. So she brought her stanchion. It's over there, so I can try to practice with it. We had the weather up on there, and he like tried to strangle himself getting off of it. He has never had his feet worked with. You could tell.
Sorry,
Are you chilly?
I'm cold.
Oh, you could tell. So Louise had to grab his foot and really try to hang on because he was. Can we help you over?
It'll go away. I'll have my own personal summer here in a minute.
Oh,
Be all hot. Oh, I'm hot now.
you're funny.
I'm hot. I'm hot.
They don't like.
It's not very realistic.
Do you have a bra on?
No, it's not very realistic. Not very realistic.
No, it's
Okay, here.
perfect.
Let's be more realistic.
Perfect.
There we go. There. You like my realism now?
That's better. There you
Okay.
go.
All right, just checking.
Now I can tell you're not wearing a bra.
Oh my goodness. Hey, sharpshooter, welcome in. Yep, and apparently menopause is correct.
Yep.
Yep, Paula and Kent, good to see you guys. Terminator 2 says Halloween day was wet and snowy. Nito says, I have a court jester costume I made years ago that I used to wear to work before I retired. Yep. Real life trad wife says, what happened? We're trying to be, realistic here. And so I'm having to move stuff around.
Apparently, I play with them often. I don't know. Or maybe he's just getting used to them.
Yeah. Hey, Cindy, welcome in.
See?
Yeah.
See?
See. Tag. Those hang with age.
Right.
Yeah. Real life trad wife says B makes a decent Rowdy, but Rowdy, you don't do her justice. Hey, Lindsay, welcome in. Yep. Well, what were we talking about?
Goat foot.
Oh, go foot. Okay.
Yes. So I'm learning how to trim feet. That was fun. And again, thank you for your help, Louise, with all of my animal husbandry. Yeah, I'm like, show me the way, boss.
And she is good at that.
Yes.
Yeah. Adam, welcome in too.
Yep. Brian
Jacobson is awesome. Pretty weak showing tonight, but Great Pyrenees might have scared them off. Yeah, we've had a bunch of. It seems like our dogs are often headed off 100 miles an hour in some direction, chasing something.
They are.
Hey,
but we've had a lot of deer on our property. I come in late and look what she.
No, you're supposed to say.
Hey, and look at who's here. No life is complete without a
pack rat. Yep. Hey, Randy, welcome back. Good to see you. Happy Halloween to you. What were we talking about?
What were we talking about?
Oh, you were talking about the hooves being trimmed. Oh, and then Jess came over, right? And you guys had a really good time. You ate some Chinese, right? And
Chinese.
Yeah. Right. What else?
Yep.
What are we talking about?
What were we talking about? What were we talking about?
Who they go?
I like.
You don't know I'm making fun of you, do I?
I like rainbows.
Okay, Stan, welcome in. Randy, welcome in. Oh, I already said welcome in. Well, Randy, welcome in twice.
He's on a roll, guys.
Oh, I'm hot. I'm cold. I'm hot. I'm cold.
I know it's exhausting. Tell me about it. And then trying to keep up with you.
What were we talking about?
No, I don't know. Feed?
All right.
Wait, not feed.
Yeah, let's go through some pictures, okay? All right. So
This is crazy, man.
So we went through 10 days is that about right?
Yep.
With no sun. And I know that there was for a lot of people, it really got down. We were talking to Joe from American Roots a little bit about this, and they got down to like in the 30% of their span of their batteries and et cetera, but you guys know we installed a secondary system at the community building and then wired it to the house system as well, so that we can use both systems. And so really we went up 300% in our capacity. And I've been have not been good with managing the electricity, and I don't use the system to its capacity. And so, oh yeah, look at that right there.
34%.
Yeah. Gypsy said we hit 34%. Yeah, it was a long drug out. In before this new system stuff that we just put in, we would have been without power. We would have not had any power. We would have spent
3 days.
Yeah, we just spent several days in that situation. And so as we were going through it at about day 4 or 5, the main system that we run on the house, which they're both the same size, but the main one we run on the house got down to 49%. And so because I wired them together, we walked out to the powerhouse, and I went with Tag, and he showed me how to switch that's right.
That's right.
Okay. How to switch the systems over. And so basically it's just a big handle. And so
it was so easy.
Yeah. Well, of course it was easy.
It was. I know. I mean, like the other breaker, I have to really struggle to push it over. And this one is just like a little, just the easiest little handle that you.
Yeah. So basically I walked out and Tag showed me, and I just grabbed the handle and shut it down and turned on the whole other system. Yeah. Which was full at the time. And then we used that system for 3 or 4 or 5 days. And then by the time, however long. How long?
It was like a day and a half.
Was that it?
Yeah.
We used it for whatever time. And then came Thursday this week, we got some sun.
Bright sun.
Yep. Sun. It was just filling up fast. Switched back over to the main system. And I think that I've got a good chance of Tag and I never having to experience another red day. Right.
It was a beautiful setup.
Yeah. But one thing B's got to learn how to do is to manage the power. She is great.
He is over here with the heater on, and I'm like, "Are you out of your mind?" And he was like, "We've got it." And I'm like, I'm counting in my head. He's like, "It's just driving you nuts at that point, isn't it?"
Well, the thing is I do a great job. Look at that. I do a great job of managing it from I don't have enough power perspective. I know how to cut off the lights. I know how to get it down to minimum power. I know what to use, what not to use. I know how to manage it from that side. But what I don't know how to do is I don't know how to manage it when there's excessive power. So when you got times where your batteries are at, like if you look at that first graph right there, those batteries are at 100%. They're accepting no power, and the panels are putting out 2.26 kilowatts of power.
Yep.
And so I like turn the heaters on, turn something on, use that power. It's going.
Yeah, you got the heater on right there, right?
Yeah,
that's 2
kilowatts. That's what that is.
Yeah.
I snipped it right when we turned the mini splits on, the heaters on.
Yeah, and it turned the house to like 79 within 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Mo wants to know what percentage you get to before you call a red day. So in previous life, you get down to about half, so about 50%, and we'd be really nervous from the old.
For a red day, I mean, if
the old system or the new system, don't really have them anymore.
The old system, if we knew we were going into a stretch of like this 9 days without
you're right.
sun, we would have started conserving from day 1.
Yeah,
because we were in 3 days, we had 66 hours of power. And then that's it.
Yep.
And with 9 days of no real sun to get that back up, there was no way that we would have been charging. So we would have, after after about 3 days, we would have been in the dark.
Yep, but it was neat.
It was beautiful.
We really didn't change any of our behaviors. We just went on with life.
It was amazing. Yeah. I just cannot say enough how wonderful it was. Just to, I mean, it was like the good old days.
What would you as a husband give advice to a wife about using the capabilities of the power system?
To you, if you don't use it, you lose it.
What are we talking about?
That's Jess. The power. If you don't use it, you're just dumping it. It's just there's only so much of the batteries will hold. When it's 100% and you're bringing in still 2 kilowatts of power, you're going to lose it if you don't use it on something. If you're already running the washing machine and the Instapot's on and the heater's on and you're still dumping power, find something to do.
Yep.
Charge the Milwaukee batteries.
Yep. RN says to you, Tag, it's a good thing y'all got a new truckload of sunshine. Yes, it
was glorious.
Yep, and they charge right up.
Oh, it was within a couple. Well, right there, you could see how it's like steadily going down and down and down, and then within probably an hour and a half, it's full.
Yeah,
you can see that on the first picture on 10/31/2020.
Yeah, it says y'all using lithium ion phosphate batteries, LiFePO4 or what? So yeah, the batteries inside of the grid down system is a LiFePO4 batteries. And but we have an entire grid down system on both the community building and the house. And then we have those two, I don't want to say linked together, but have them ran to a transfer box so that I can use either one that I want to. Yeah. And Mo says, from great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, I just want her to learn. I know it hasn't been here that long, but how to use the power. Because she's excellent at how to conserve the power.
Right. Yeah, I don't use enough of it, I guess.
Yeah. So me and Tag had to move a bunch of feed today.
Yep.
And that's the skid loader. When we get our feed bulk from the co-op, we get them in these big bags, and then we just lift it up with the skid loader, untie the knot at the bottom, and fill the barrels, and then store the food in the barrels.
Yeah.
And so
we put them up on a pallet so that there's not they don't hold moisture. Well, they don't sweat very easily. When they're on the concrete, and the concrete, it's getting hot and cold and hot and cold and hot and cold. It tends to sweat
more
on the lid of the barrel. So I put them up on top of pallets so that there's an air gap between there, and then it stays a little chillier, and then it doesn't sweat inside the barrel as much. But I'm hoping to have enough feed in these barrels to last me through the winter so that when there's snow on the ground, I'm not trying to haul feed in. Plus, it's such a chaotic thing when I'm trying to fill the barrels and the goats are in here and the cows are all in their stalls and the turkeys are in there and the chickens are in there. And everybody's like, if you drop some on the floor, we'll pick it up for you. So this guy over here is like literally feeding them every time I turn around. I love them.
Yeah. RN Tag asks, Tag, would more batteries allow you to offload the extra unused power? Well, 100%. The problem is that's where all the money is. The batteries. And so you could expand, I don't know if you could ever expand to where you would use it all, because you're producing more, than you're consuming. And so eventually whatever batteries you buy, you will be full again. And now you'll be offloading power again. And so you can't, there's been some experiments done with things like capacitors, sand batteries, water batteries. There's people out there that will use a whole pond as a place to store the water. What's so funny?
You're in the same hat right there.
I am. Look at that.
That's like,
that is excellent.
Yeah, you should wear that more frequently.
Helen says that. I just put the TV on, and from far away, I said, "Who's that guy with beads?"
He's a little fella.
Gregory says, "Hey, everyone, I think I must be watching the wrong channel or needing better glasses. Check that prescription, buddy. Check it." Where's Tag? I went close up to the TV screen to see who's that guy. Yeah, so we decided to be each other for Halloween in our own romantic way, huh?
Yes.
What are we talking about?
I don't know.
These things are
Falling down because you need a bra.
they say gravity.
You need a brassiere to hold them
I
up.
have experienced breast gravity today.
Just roll them in the shirt. There you go. That's what we do. Oh, goodness. You got to swallow that. I'm glad you didn't tip your bottle.
Oh,
up.
my goodness. Yep. Helen and I shaved. And it was funny when I walked out, Beaky had to give me a total second look. 'Cause I've had a beard for a long time.
Said, what?
I'll just throw it back. It's not a big deal. Yep. Onion adjustment. Yep.
I know they're still down.
Yep. Needs a bro.
You need a bro.
I need a bro.
I didn't have one you could fit.
I'm surprised you didn't smell them when I came up.
Can you? I don't smell onion now. Do you smell onion?
No.
Did you peel
You want to smell them?
No. Why is there onion? Did you peel the part
Yeah,
off?
I didn't want that to be in my shirt.
Oh, gosh. Oh, good grief.
Yeah. Well, hello, Life with Mike and Jen. How was Jen?
Hello, friend.
Yep. There.
How's my buddy?
Yep. I hope you enjoyed the beginning part of live. There's real surprises for you.
We don't play with them like that. Stop.
Oh my goodness. Nito says for the last 6 weeks since we started this install, our electric bill has averaged $300, is now $115, and the solar isn't even hooked up yet.
Ha ha. That's
Yep.
one way to remove some
Oh,
stroke.
yep. You will absolutely love it.
And then you'll have to manage your power also.
On the overage and the underage.
Right.
Tag, you need that double slingshot to hold them babies up. I know.
Right. He needs to put some support on there.
Yep. Yep.
Or push your belly out farther so that
The
there's something
Scotch
for them
said,
to
or
sit
I need a
on.
man's ear.
Man's ear. And you're all wonky, buddy.
I'm tuning in Tokyo. Yeah, Mo says, keep touching them and you're going to need to move this to OnlyFans. I keep touching them because they keep moving. They're sliding down.
Keep
Like,
pulling them back up because he just stuck them in his shirt thinking that like they would stay. Good grief.
Tell me they aren't playing with the cost. Oh, of course they are. I think energy is going to be the big deal, Nitos. I've been saying it for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely do. And you know, the more I realize it, the more I understand energy, because energy is not just electricity, right? There's a lot of forms of energy. And, you know, the more and more I understand it, the more I realize it. But what you got there, buddy?
Look at all them babies.
Well, 2 babies.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a mama and her baby. Actually, the one next to her is not her baby. The one on the far side is her baby.
She's a good mama. She'll let them both nurse. That's Moo. And the babies are growing. In fact, I just figured I would show you guys an update of Tallow and T-Bone since they were born a while back.
Oh, hey, somebody
Scotty said it's 2025. It's all good.
It's all good. Somebody contacted Lou about Moo and said that Moo was the mama to one of her to her bull, and asked Lou for udder pictures of Moo because there's like some kind of like investigation that because it's her bull's mom, and so she would like to see the udders of, you know, how some farmers are. Remember when we bought the goats and she was like, there's your udders of the mom and the dad, and we're like, okay,
Been a lot of talk about udders tonight.
We don't why do we need that? People pay attention to that when they're trying to breed and different traits, and the U shape versus the V, is it V or W or something, and the bag size and all this.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Huh? No, that's what I should say. Huh? What?
What do you got going on here?
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, look at them little guys. Actually, those are both girls, but they're trying to eat everything that you drop. I just have to keep paying for this food that you just throw on the ground.
Yeah, they by the time I got my camera out, that was the second one that was in the bag, trying to get the scraps. They really are very efficient at cleaning up at your feet.
Yes, and apparently they poop wherever they go. They're like flies. And then these animals just show up on our homestead unannounced.
I don't know anything about that. I don't know how it happened. I don't know how it happened. I like my cotton candy rainbows.
Yep. That's my life.
Can I get you some hot chocolate?
About time you do something. You got some gray popping through there, sister. Hide that.
Oh my goodness, my onions are falling. Yep. Goats are getting bigger. Yeah.
Yep. That's Willie. Willie, we were able to trim 2 of his feet. The rear one, he kept kicking, kick, and she was sitting there holding on to this goat's foot. And she was just holding on, and I'm like, what can I do to help? And she's like, you just gotta wait until he stops.
What are we talking about?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
So,
oh my goodness.
I'll have to address that one at a later date. He wouldn't come back to us after that. Yep. Get that up there, sister. You might need to go get that fixed.
Yeah, Jen likes the role reversal. Yeah, this is a really good picture. I snapped it. I thought it was going to be a really good picture. I snapped it. Violet, which is the dog that's mostly in the picture, that's the one that was shot. But anyway, she's reaching her hand in and pulling that cow's food bowl out from underneath the fence. And I took the picture, and apparently her nose just got in front. See how her other leg's missing?
Yeah.
It's on the bowl.
It's on her hand.
Yeah, and she's trying to pull that bowl out. And so I didn't look at the quality of picture. I just threw it in my pocket and went about my day. But then when I loaded it to the live, I see that you can't see it, her arm. But she is pulling that bowl out, which is just super cool.
She's a tricky one.
Yeah.
She's my favorite.
Yeah. She's a good dog. But it's just funny how they all coexist, you know?
They just go around trying to eat. These 2 dogs go around to every animal trying to eat their food. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And then they go home and they eat their own food. They get a little bit of everybody's.
Well, they do have the job of protecting them all. So call it a tax.
Right.
It's a tax.
Ain't that a bitch?
Yep. And
there's the barn.
Yeah. So those pens there that you guys see, those are where Bee can lock up the roosters and the turkeys and stuff. And why do you have them locked up?
Getting ready to cull them. Cull them. Yep. Cull day's Sunday. It's supposed to be nice and toasty, sunny.
Yep. So you're gonna do some chickens and some turkeys?
Chickens and turkeys. Yeah. And I thought like I had 10, 15 tops. I ended up, there's like at least 25 chickens in there and 4 turkeys. So there's more than I thought. I was just feeding them and I'm like, whoa, you're a rooster. Grab it and put it in there. Throw some more food. And it was pretty easy. Just throw some food. And the males were very aggressive to get to the food. So as I just sprinkle it right at my feet, they're like, mine. And so I'm like, oh, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. It's like boop, pluck.
So you used food as leverage in like an ice raid.
Yeah. And then I put them in there and I was like, let me get you guys a fantastic meal. And I did. I got them all lots of food, lots of water. They are taken care of very nicely.
For how long? Much longer?
That is safety.
So she feeds them a lot of extra food and then she's going to kill them. I'm going to kill them.
Yep. I'll be sending posts. I'll be running my old skid loader force multiplier.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. What?
All right. Today was trash day. Right?
This was a trash and rowdy shop. My shop. I got a dirty shop. Yep.
What are we talking about?
My trash. My trash pile.
Yep. It's good. It's good to clean up. I've spent the last, well, it's not every day because I've got other things that go on, but last couple of weeks I've tried to spend getting the whole shop back in order from building the community building and all the things that were going on. And, part of that was trash. So that's the load that came out of there. I've got a bunch of projects coming up for the winter I'm super excited about. I had to move some wood into the shop so that I've got to get rid of these onions. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
I wear a bra.
Well, onions.
I never did try onions.
No?
Too heavy.
Yeah. What else we got going on? Oh, talk about your
yeah,
bird
man.
debacle.
This is a bummer. This is only 2 of the pictures. I sent you like 7. There was like dead carcasses all over that field over there. And unfortunately, they're all like birds that I recognize. So there was
names.
No, I mean, not that they had names, but it was like, this is clearly a slate tom or a slate turkey. And that one is the black turkey, which is now missing. So there were 2 solid black turkeys and there are no more.
So that was the big black turkey? The big tom?
Not the iridescent-y one, not Gary. Gary's still there. This was the solid black one with the yellow face. Remember that? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You pay no mind to the animals. Anyways, there was at least 5 different birds over there that were different colors and kinds. There was at least 1 guinea. There was a pumpkin. There was several eggs, like couple green chicken eggs and a couple guinea eggs. Like, I don't know if they're going over there. There's like a nest or something over there, and then something's coming and going and getting birds and dragging it through that field. And a pumpkin, something drug a pumpkin.
My
over
guess
there.
is, with all of that, I would say it's a raccoon. Would be my guess.
So I need to trap a coon?
Have you wanted to trap a coon your whole life?
No, we had a coon growing up. Yeah, you have these 2 hairs that are outside of your braid. So, anyway, what were we talking about?
Yeah. Exactly. Hey, Rhonda, welcome in. Says, Terminator said, I've been busy cutting wood. I'm up to 5 cords and only 5 more to go.
So, yeah, I just got done telling B that we have 16 cords of wood out there, or we have 16 crates of wood out there.
Which is 8 cords. And
we went through 13 last year, crates. So, and we have a whole nother building that we are heating, plus the shop and the house with 3 stoves in it. And I said, I don't even know if we have enough to get through winter with that now. I don't know. You were like, oh, we've got 3 years of wood. Oh, we've got 2 years of wood. And now I'm like, I don't even know if we got one full year.
That's what happens when you build a 2.25 acre pond in the middle of the woods. You end up taking down a lot of wood.
Yep. And we've burned through it.
We've burned through it. Yep.
Yeah. So we haven't the wood to spare.
Not this year. Maybe next year, but maybe we'll go get some cut before now and then. I've got some trees down I could cut up pretty easy that have been down for a little while, but
just getting to it, getting it done. That's just, it's a lot of work.
Yep.
It's a lot of work, man. Yeah,
so whatever
pumpkin.
So not only did they pick up some birds and take them, but they picked up a pumpkin, which is weird.
A pumpkin, and this pumpkin was like a pie pumpkin, a small pumpkin.
Yeah. Yeah, Nito said they've lost 5 birds in the last 2 weeks. Northern Girl Hobbies, welcome in. Hey, that other picture is the picture. There was like 7 deer on our dam. That's not very far from the back of my house. And
look how big that first one is too. That's a big deer.
Yeah, that picture's not super good quality because it's zoomed in from your cell phone from a ways away, but it was definitely within arrow range.
Well, and two with the lighting, if you're going against the light, then
that's first thing in the morning.
Yeah,
right as the sun's coming up. But it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, there was dew all over the ground. They were just sitting there eating. What is that? Oh, clover. They're eating the clover.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that we have a huge deer population.
Did you see the corner of our property fence the top of the fence has been kind of like pushed down?
No, I'll have to go over there and look. Mo says, can you freeze protect the warehouse or does it need to stay above freezing? Oh, great question. And the answer is yes, I need to freeze protect it. And I did. So I put the solar system, which puts off lots of heat, but a fair amount of heat in a very small room. And then I ran the main plumbing stuff. All the controls, the pressure tanks, the filters are in that same room on a different wall. And I think you could make the argument why you don't want the water in there with the solar system, even though it's up off the ground. But at the same time, I want to keep everything from freezing. And so not all of my pipes run underground, but when we built it, if you remember, we ran all of the lines under the concrete. So I'm not worried about them freezing. They'll be under there anyway. And so we'll just kill the water to the outside faucets to the bathrooms. If we're not using it, we'll keep it shut off, and then we'll keep that room warm through the solar system. It's all insulated, the whole room, and it's up against the back wall, which is underground, if you remember. But so we're hoping that we don't have too many issues. Hey, Mandy from Permatopia Farms. Good to see you. Let's see here. My daughter cured 4 5-pound ham roast and brought them to me, and they are amazing, better than store-bought. Well, I guarantee you that's true. Right? We're just blowing through it tonight.
Look at that.
So
got him addicted.
Yeah, tags, buddy. Right, Mario sent this picture of him with whole milk and chocolate.
Yep. Fresh Kansas cow milk.
Fresh Kansas cow milk.
Straight from our neighbor's farm.
Now, were you happy that you had converted him to chocolate milk?
Well, not necessarily chocolate, because I don't think that he necessarily needs the extra sugar. But
you can't just let the man have a victory.
But milk, whole milk, has some genuine benefits from it.
Anyway, I love the picture.
So I do too. I love the picture.
And I don't know if you've seen it in the news, but moose wanders through Kansas.
Which is really weird. Too far.
Yeah, we have never had a moose in Kansas that I'm aware of. And I don't even know how to react other than they're gigantic creatures. But no, we live clear on the east side of Kansas. And I would imagine I didn't read the article, but I just seen it and thought it was cool. But I'm sure this is on the west side of Kansas, more towards Colorado would be my guess, but I guess I don't know.
It says north central.
Did it say north central? Moose in north central Kansas. So yeah, I guess if I could just read.
That's okay, hun.
Yeah, so that actually wouldn't be very far from here because we're in northeast Kansas, so that wouldn't be very far from us. Yeah, Mandy says, "Oh my, you guys got me all confused with your switching role costumes. It took me a minute to see what is going on." Yeah, Tag has been very mean to B tonight, just so you know.
Sometimes you have to sit and watch and see what's going on for a while before you go, oh.
Yeah. Is that what you do?
Sometimes.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. What?
What? Everybody, don't forget that we're going to do the Freeman Festivus, the Gathering of the Clans, on January 3rd, 2026. This date may change. I think it's pretty good, but we're still working on some details. I'll keep you guys up to speed on the burning of the trees and exactly what goes on. MMR, American Roots, and I think you, right?
Yep.
B, are working on the details. And so anyway, we'll keep you guys posted. Sir Friend says a moose is better than those diseased monkeys. Yes, I actually got that. Oh my
gosh, that's crazy.
I got that in the slide deck tonight. Terminator says, I have moose in my backyard all the time. Do you eat them? Because that'd be a lot of meat, I would think. They are awful big. And then any of you guys that are close, don't forget, I'll be at Crunchy Mama Farms, home of Texas Be the Butcher classes. I'm going to speak down there from Sean and Amy from Crunchy Mama Farms.
That is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait.
Yep. And
I hope I get my hands in there.
Yeah, what's really cool about the way they do things is a lot of what they do is based around butchering and harvesting of animals. And so a lot of the stuff they'll be doing will be, those kinds of things. And I'm going to go down there and talk about building community, but we get to go and stay with Sean and Amy, and that'll be a lot of fun.
Yep.
And
all kinds of fun.
Hang out with the kids. And so that will
learn.
That'll be going on the 15th and 16th.
Are you going to try to watch the butchering? Are you going to?
I don't even know what I'm walking into 100% yet. I need to figure out the whole schedule and all that. I'll get to that, but I'll watch what I can watch,
That's not really your thing. You're not all giddy about it.
No. I'd rather watch a class about how someone dados corners for a drawer, or something like that, but it's still good stuff. And so I'll watch what I can of it. Let's see here. Mo says that seeing moose does not make a great global warming story. If it happened last year, it would have made better news. Good point. Northern Girls wants to know if there are any reports of tapeworms in our area. Not that I'm aware of. I would hope not.
I think there's tapeworms everywhere.
Moose are massive and it will take several people to assist. Yeah, or skid loader, right? Northern Girl Hobbies. Pick it up with a machine if you can. So, yeah,
If you can.
If you can.
Many hands make light work on that.
Yep. Yeah. So what else is going on? What else you got on your list as far as the farm goes?
Winterizing.
Yeah.
Some things, putting some pool noodles on the couple pipes that we can get to. There's a area of the house that I had stashed some stuff that we weren't using because he built this closet that was I built this closet. I built this closet that I was going to put a heater in someday, and my wife went and shoved a bunch of shit in it. Yup. So it got cleaned out. You want to say anything about that?
What are we talking about?
What?
Oh my goodness.
So anyways, I had to clean this closet out and do something with the stuff that was in there. And there's like 3 huge pans of lard that need to be rendered for the second time.
It was in the closet?
Yep. Surprise. Yay. And what else? There was something else. I had to do something.
What were we talking about?
Oh, what was it? Oh, just to winterize it. That's what we were talking about. Let me keep you on track here, woman. So we have to winterize this whole room. It's big. If there was not going to be anything put in there, like a heater, and it was just going to be like this empty closet, you might as well stash some stuff in there to hide it if you don't know where to put it when you move into a new house. So I did that. And then he does have a dress on. And then he was like, oh, then Mario came over and was like, if winter's coming, you better start to winterize your shit and put some insulation in that room. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I'll get my wife to clean it out, all her junk. So she cleaned it out. Now I got to go in there and winterize it. Put some pool noodles on the pipes.
Hey everybody, I want to welcome in Andrew, very, very good friend of mine. Known a long, long time. Started out as shooting buddies many years ago and have been good friends ever since.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat. Yeah. Lazy Loper, welcome in. Let's see here. Terminator said we had a 1,600-pound moose hanging in our garage about 20 years ago. I ate for 2 years on that meat.
That is a lot of meat.
Andrew says, what do you want my dressed as? Well, tag and B. Tag and
Can't
G.
you tell I'm tagged from life done free? Hold the line. Don't give an inch.
RN wants to know, B, how much honey did you get? Well, see, let me tell you something. This year, I had too many, unicorns and rainbows and stuff going on. And so I pretty much didn't mess my bees much this year. So they got to keep all their own honey. And what are we talking about?
And I just had to pay for it. Better go back to work.
Yeah, Northern Girl says get it rendered down out of the closet. Lucy has been a busy woman over there. That Terminator says I rendered 50 pints of lard off my pigs. Yeah, wonderful.
50 pints.
Yeah. Early October, a moose was sighted in central Nebraska, east of us, about 75 miles. Well, won't that be a surprise for the dogs?
I think they would just run
Away?
right?
Or
Yeah, don't you think?
You don't think they chase them? I bet they chase them. No, you don't think so?
I don't know. Our dogs?
They chase the deer. They chase everything else. Moose are really big, but
I don't know.
what are we talking about?
What?
What? Huh?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What else got your list?
So just winterizing. We getting pod 4. There's some breezes coming in like the outlet covers, which is completely weird in my opinion, but apparently that's a normal thing. DIY.
I would,
but we put wood on that wall, so now we got to put extenders on the outlet covers.
But thank you for putting the wood on the wall. Thank you for working so hard
Always something.
to put all that wood on the wall so that I didn't have to do any more drywalling.
Why isn't it finished?
Well,
What have you been doing?
let me tell you. So not only did the bees suffer this year because I was in cotton candy and Rainbow Land, but also my responsibility of finishing pod 4. Well, what were we talking about?
Your incompetence.
Many moose around here too. Need to find one alone though. It's usually the mom with calves. Yep. Last year I saw a spotted black and white cow moose with a calf that was also spotted. Indiana Mike says a moose once bit my sister. Would you let a moose bite you?
No, I don't think I'd get that close.
You a big chicken tag?
Yeah. I don't really fight with things that are bigger than me. Yeah.
Sissy.
Are you proud of your efforts?
Are you proud of those efforts? Yep. I think that's said real well.
Yeah, let me write that down.
Yeah. You're proud of your efforts? Yep. I think she's trying to see if I'm proud of my efforts in pod 4 and if I'm proud of my efforts with my bees this year. Well, see, let me tell you. All these animals just started showing up. I don't know where the turkeys and all the chickens and the guineas and all of those things come from. I just don't know. So, what were we talking about?
I don't know.
Okay.
What?
Let's see here. Northern Girl Hobby says they rarely spotted is definitely an anomaly, Lucy. Apparently I can't read tonight. See, that's why we don't do it. No?
See, you can't see from that spot very well.
I don't see it as well. I'm all right. Yeah. Oh, great question. So, Tag, when are you going to start the Wallapini?
No, not this year. Probably not next year neither. I'd say don't hold your breath.
Well, Mo, there's your answer. Heard from the man, the myth, the legend himself. Right? Okay. Let's see here. Northern Mohammed says, Kissel, normally we've seen 2 calves with a cow. Yeah, those are awful big animals. Well, should we get on to good news?
There's always good news.
Always good news. I'm going to do my best tonight, okay? But if I mess up, you'll let me know?
Yeah, you won't mess up. You're a fantastic narrator.
Okay. Sure. All right. Well, with all of the stuff going on with EBT, as you guys know, that a lot of the benefits are supposed to be cut off as of tomorrow.
That's right.
Yep. And there's a lot of stuff I find super interesting about this, but to kind of build the case a little bit, there's lots of reports out there of people saying things like Trump has about 2.5 seconds to turn these effing food stamps back on, or there's going to be a Jet 2 holiday all up in Walmart. He's got us effed up. She goes on to say that they're just going to keep stealing, which is what they're doing anyway. Fatigue doesn't even begin to describe how I feel about them anymore. And I think it's an interesting post on how, pay attention to the divide in a lot of these statements, right? The grocery pirates are back. People are getting followed out of stores, robbed at their cars, and even having bags snatched mid-load. Keep your head on a swivel, watch your six in those parking lots, or better yet, order Walmart delivery and skip the ambush, right? I wonder who would benefit from just having delivery. Situational
to keep
aware.
them home.
Not just that, but you got to remember, babe, that we're bringing in AI now, right? And I think that's all kind of part of it. And, you know, who would benefit from that is all the new delivery services. Remember, there was a time when you wanted to watch a movie, you went to the movie theater, you went to Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And soon came technology that allowed you to get any movie you want, staying right at home.
Oh, did you see the drone that dropped the package right in the lady's backyard?
Mm-hmm. That's not new news.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was new.
Man, I thought you were.
I was like, holy cow, look at that. That is crazy. They even found her backyard.
Yeah, this one was really interesting to me. It said this woman went on to say, people, if they don't get their benefits, they're going to start eating white people. I thought that was really funny.
Gross.
Yeah. But anyway, there's a lot of people saying a lot of things. And I think it's really important that you pay attention to not just what they're saying and how they're saying it, but which post you're actually seeing. Because remember, all we see is what they want us to see, right? You're only seeing that stuff. You may not be actually seeing the entire truth. And I'm going to talk a lot about that as we go through these tonight. Let's see here. Jesus says, just found out delivery is even an option for us. Walmart is 30 plus minutes away, depending on the direction. Yeah, but you know what? If you can't get delivery, and I don't even know that I would do that anyway, but
it is an option or is not.
Just found out delivery is even an option. Yeah. So I think there's another side. When you go to the store, bring your significant other with you. Bring your sister, bring your brother, bring somebody that can pay attention to what's going on around while you shop. You know, and so, you know, if, you know, B needs to go to the grocery store or something, I want to go with her, and I'll just stand around and I won't pay much attention to what she's doing. I'll watch the crowd. I'll watch what's going on. I'll stand guard so that she can shop and get it all done. We'll get it back and back on the road we go. And I just think we have to kind of take that mindset, because even great people do horrible things when their kids are hungry. I mean, I think that's just important. So let's see here. Mo says, this is a great time to ask for a raise if you work at Walmart. Yep. The cannibals are here. Let's see. Whoa, eating white people. Yep. Several of my friends and I decided that if we're going to go shopping, we'll go together. I think that is a great, great idea.
This is a good idea.
They want us divided. Food is a great way to do it. 100% sharpshooter. We're going to talk a lot about that tonight.
They're going to divide us with our food.
Well, it's I find it ironic that what you see primarily is mostly women, majority African-American women, on the feeds and all of those things, talking about, oh, we're going to go get this, we're going to go get that, we're going to go, you know, that you don't. And I don't think it's giving you a proper view of the entire picture. They're only showing you who they're creating the bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Trying
right?
to make you afraid.
When I'm not suggesting that fraud don't go on, but I'm going to show you tonight as we go through some of the numbers that maybe it's not exactly as it's, you know, we're being shown. So let's see here. Northern Hobby said they probably planned on eating my father as he won't give up his lease at least the store. Geez, yeah. RN says try that in a small town, which is another great point. But again, I don't know that I would take it all that seriously, because I think there's a lot going on that we're just not being.
Do you remember
shown.
we had a issue where there was a while ago that there was a that fly. There was a while ago that fly. I don't know. There was a while ago that there was a whole group of people from the Walmart at our store that was there to steal. Remember? Then they were there from like California or something, and they were just like on a road trip, just driving around, going into the store, stealing a bunch of stuff, and then they came out. You don't remember that?
Hey, Shaw 54, welcome in, and Jody, welcome in too. Sorry, I didn't say that when I read your comment, but a lot of SNAP food stamp benefits talk has me all effed up. Why do you think that eating is a privilege? They go on to say, we all need to eat, they say, to live. It should be a basic human right. What is your reaction to this take? And I love the response. It said, first off, in order to be able to get food from a store, that requires the labor of many people. Nobody is entitled to the labor of somebody else, period. And I think that's a really, really great point. And you could say in this beautiful utopian world that everybody should have food and everybody should be able to eat and all of those things. But there's a lot of problems with that idea, which means anything somebody gets for free, someone else had to work for and not get paid for. And as time wears on, in a healthy society, you've got, of 10 people that are, let's say in a group of people, 9 of them are pulling a cart, one person's riding in the cart who's the deserving needy. And that process works perfectly fine until number 2 decides why do they need to pull the cart when they can just ride? And then number 3, and then number 4, and then number 5. And pretty quick, the few people that are left pulling the cart say, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not pulling this cart anymore. And I think we're getting to a point where the people that are pulling the cart are tired of pulling the cart.
Right. And that happens a lot.
Yeah. Can you explain SNAP? Yeah, it's food stamps. It's the food stamp benefits in the United States. And there's, a little card and there's states that call it different things, but basically it's the food stamp program. Nito says the chaos is also going to usher in online prepay only, no more brick and mortar. That's right. See, if you can get people scared of the streets, right?
Convenient to not leave.
And convenient not to leave, right? It gets to be where you can control more and more. And again, as I said before, we're not getting, the entire story. Not really expected much in our 500-person small town grocery store. No, I would say you're probably all right. Yep. And the Northern Girl Hobby said link to social and carbon scores, 100%. Link to AI, 100%. I like that saying, no one's entitled to someone else's labor. Yep. Probably won't like the taste of me. I'm sure I taste like an overly salted old goat. Did I hear something about Galt? That's right. Absolutely. That people are going to say, I'm done. I'm going Galt, right? We don't have that program here, just food banks to my knowledge. Well, not only is it in what we originally would call food stamps, where you can go to the grocery store, buy your groceries. It's on a card. You pay for your groceries. There's also a cash side of it where it works like an ATM and you can withdraw actual cash.
Oh.
And what the argument?
What?
Well, it depends on which side you're talking about. Some people go buy new nails and football tickets. Some people go buy those kinds of things. But I promise you, there are needy out there who take that money to pay their electric bill. Right?
Is it supposed to be to pay the electric bill?
It's supposed to be for necessity.
For them to use to.
Yes. It's so bizarre here in the wealthiest country in the world. They say that we have enough food, we have enough money, we have enough programs to end childhood hunger, and to use feeding kids as a weapon don't make any sense. And again, this is the bleeding heart view. And the problem with this idea is that means that someone puts their labor and doesn't get anything out of it. Right? This is socialism. And unfortunately, I've talked a lot about this, about freedom, about how you can have freedom or you can have safety, but you can't have both. You can't be a free person, you can't live in a free society that takes from somebody to give to somebody else. You just can't. This is insane. The food stamp spending was just $4.5 billion in December of 2019. By December 2022, thanks to the massive expansion by the Biden administration, the food stamp spending was $11 billion per month.
Per month.
Yep, $11 billion per month, and now they're saying feeding mainly illegal immigrants. And what's interesting about that, remember how I was just telling you how all you see on the feeds are women mainly and predominantly Black women. You're not seeing, that many, Muslims, or, you're not seeing a whole side of the picture.
Yeah.
And which this is the part that actually, kind of worries me. That's a lot new, artificially subsidized demand. And guess what? Is that the same period grocery prices went up? By some estimates, food prices go up by about 1% for every 12% increase in food stamp spending. In this case, we're looking at a percentage increase of nearly 150%. So you could do the math on that. It's more like a 10% increase in your grocery bill every single month. What this means is that if you're a working American and you're not on food stamps, meaning that you are a functional citizen who is taking care of yourself and your family, you're what's considered a contributing citizen. What that means is you are actually paying against your will for other people's groceries twice. You're paying when the government takes the money out of your paycheck, and then you're paying again every time you buy groceries for yourself, right? Because of the increased cost. I probably missed some comments, but we'll just start right there. What really pisses me off is at 71, I'm crippled and cannot work, and see so many that can work but won't. Yep, and you know what? Hacksaw 54, I talk about this all the time. And in society, we should be taking care of our own. And there are plenty of people who have spent their whole life working that now the society should come in behind and should help. Our veterans who gave a bunch should actually come in and help.
Yes, but it's the society who will go to that young man and go, I'm not paying for your food. Go out and get a job.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, no, I don't want to.
Yeah. And there's plenty of that stuff too. But I think this is just a proof again that those types of welfare programs should come from the community and not from the federal government. Right? And I think you'd have much better control in a case like that. Northern Ohio says we don't have enough food because they're destroying it all. The SNAP program does get off into the black market sometimes. Yep, Jody said, I think a lot of those programs were meant to be a bridge, not a parking lot. Yes. And I think there's, people out there who spent 40 years in a career or 20 years in a career, got laid off and need help for 3 months as they get it figured out. I don't have any problem with that kinds of stuff. I think obviously we have a problem with the corruption, but again, I think it's important you guys understand you're not getting the whole story. Nito says, I believe there is too much being given out. I agree. And for too long instead of actually finding work. It's all backwards. Elderly retiree gets $25 a month. It is all backwards. I'm actually going to show you guys tonight Social Security math. Actually, what the average person will put in over the course of their lifetime, what they'll receive during the course when they begin to use their retirement, how that system works. And I'm sure you'll consider that to be great news.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. The programs are part of the plan, and we're a trap along with the shamdemic. Yeah, I've got it. The shamdemic. Yep, read that 58% of those benefits go to illegals. I did a big dig into that, and what I was coming up with, if you kind of looked at all of the sources, was about 42% or 43% was going to it. Some numbers I've seen as high as 49% was too, but I did not see anything over 50. Design 2C says, while young able-bodied women with 5 baby daddies get $250 to $1,250 a month, or a lot more, right? Yes, Tag, we should not be paying taxes for the government to give away. Correct. We should help those that we each deem to be worthy in our own community. See, I agree with that 100%. Perfectly said, Jesus. The Democrats are all for illegal immigrant benefits. Americans come last. Democrats want illegals. So the Democrats should pay for them from their own paycheck. But I think you got to ask why. Do you think that the Democrats actually care for the illegals? I mean, do you think they care for them like they care for the African-American community in the inner city? Right? The truth is they don't care about any of them. It's not about that. It's about power, control, the votes, the lobbying. It's about those kinds of things. I would think that people could at least find some compassion for the fact that all of these, not all, a good chunk of these illegal immigrants that came over here were kind of rope-a-doped into a deal by the government to be here.
I believe so.
Right? They said, hey, come, we'll get you work, we'll do all this. And they're like, oh man, a better life. And then they come up here, so be careful who you hate the player, you hate the game, you hate the system. What do you hate? But and I know that's not true, but for everybody, but it is absolutely true for some. Bill Fallon, welcome in, says the ripple effect on the banking system is going to really hurt every sector of business. Yes. 20 million illegals get free health care, give the health care to Americans. Could not agree more. Nobody who is not a United States citizen should receive taxpayer benefits, period. Right? 100%, which is why the whole system has to be rebuilt.
Makes sense.
Which is part of the reason why they're cutting it off, by the way. And we'll get into some of that stuff too. So you all get a baby bonus payment there too? Yep. Yeah, it's a Democratic agenda. It's not the illegals' fault. That's what I'm saying. And I know some of them are bad people and gang members and all that, but again, what you're seeing is the highlights. You're seeing the blood and the guts. You're not seeing all the other millions of stories. I know several illegal immigrants who are super hardworking people just trying to make it through their day. And I'm not suggesting that you shouldn't have walls or borders or rules. And how can you be welcomed into a country when you started by breaking the rules? So I think it's an immigration reform issue. And I don't want any of my monies going to something that's not an American citizen. And the truth is, I really want to just decide where it goes anyway. I want to have the call, which is again why you put it back in the community's hands, right? You put it back at the local level. Who says it is not just the taxpayer and the consumer that are paying. It is the poisoning of the land, the increase in healthcare costs for crap food. It just keeps going. Mo, it's every single, and you know this, bud. Maybe Mo, probably the person I've talked to the most about these issues. It is systemic. It's in our education system. It's in our food system, our finance system, the executive branch, the legislative branch, the judicial branch. I mean, it's in every single piece of it and getting harder and harder and harder to escape. The numbers are skewed regarding illegals because if the file for asylum, they are considered legal and qualify for Social Security and Medicaid. Yeah. Oops. I think the Dems are trying to tear down the programs and the economy in order to create what the World Economic Forum wants, the New World Order. Well, unfortunately, Nitos, I would tell you there's a lot of Republicans in that camp too. Yep, Northern Harvey says some of them are hardworking and legal. Others are sketchy as F. Yep, totally agree. And again, I'm not suggesting that we should not have borders. I'm 100% supportive of a wall. I mean, I put a fence around my property for a reason.
Yep.
And you know what? If you knock on my door at my house and I know you and you're decent, I'll let you in and we'll have a great conversation. And if you're not, I won't. I don't see why that's controversial in any way. During the Biden border crisis, Democrats gave illegal aliens 40% more food than that of Americans. This is absolutely crazy. So they were food per day. The prepaid migrant cards were receiving $12.52. SNAP or food stamps is $7.59. So think about this. And I know there's people who get a lot more benefits than just SNAP, but all of the problems going on, all of the, money going to all of these different places. And what's all you see in the news is that, the SNAP program paying $7.59 per day is being abused. I think there's a lot of bigger abuses than that going on out there, but it is crazy that an illegal would come in. And so you'd have to ask why, right? Why would they do this? Well, they want the vote, right? They also want a reason to bring in digital ID and central bank digital currency. And this gives them problem, right? We found a solution. Government's the hero again. And it gives them kind of that built in. If you look at that red graph on the bottom down there, what that's showing you is federal fruits SNAP spending in billions of dollars, but that is from 2010 to 2025. As you can see, there was a big jump during the Biden administration. It's fallen off a little bit during the Trump administration, but bigger, more money than ever before. If 43 million Americans are on EBT or SNAP and 48% are illegal immigrants, then that means 2.6 million, right, immigrants are on EBT. Think about that math. You guys have heard lots of numbers about there's 8 million illegals here. There's 10 million illegals here, but just by their own numbers, right, suggests that 20.6 million immigrants are on EBT, right? So I went and did some digging, and if you look at the graph below, so any welfare, if you look, the 59% of, if you count any welfare, is immigrants. Illegal immigrants followed the next category, legal immigrants, and the blue bar is U.S. household. So cash assistance, again, if the immigrants are getting the majority of it, food, immigrants are getting the majority of it, Medicare, immigrants are getting the majority of it. The only one that isn't is housing, which legal immigrants and U.S. born citizens are in a tie. Let's see here. Sharpshooter says it has to be local to be sustainable in everything, food, government, etc. Totally agree. I'd like a giant bubble that is not penetratable. Did I say that right?
Penetrable.
Penetratable.
Penetratable.
Let's see here. Northern Gold Hobby says it's crazy the amount of money being thrown around. We are living in an insane time of some pretty good awakening. I think we're living history, and I think we're going to see the Great Reset 100%. The question is, what does that mean?
Like in your lifetime, you think?
Yes, I do, but I don't think it's necessarily guaranteed that it's what the Charles Schwab and the World Economic Forum think it is. You know, they have their version of what the Great Reset would be.
What they want it to be.
What they want it to be. But I think that there's a fair amount of push out there to make the Great Reset be about restoring the people's power.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah, I mean, and so I wouldn't put all of my weight in the fact
that is what's going to happen.
That they're going to win, because there's going to be lots of stuff going on. Look what's happened in our county with
history,
the solar farm and the World Economic Forum and BlackRock, which would happen right here in the middle of nowhere, and we've had some success at it. And so I don't think you can just absolutely guarantee the outcome, even though every day that goes by makes it easier for them to win and harder for us to win, in my opinion. But Helen says, I guarantee over 20 million of illegal immigrants are getting SNAP. Mrs. Hack says, what if they say illegals can have free health care to end the shutdown, and when they sign up for it, they have the ICE agents show up at the address they use to enroll? I think that's a short term. I think they would see that. I think some people would see that as a win, but I would say that's fool's gold, because what happens is, okay, it works here. And then what happens when a Democrat gets in office or a liberal gets in office and can use this exact same strategy now because it's been normalized? It's more erosion of freedoms, right? So I would not be fond of that. Those people are probably getting the snapper along with other crazy amounts of money to bring more in. Yep. Let's see here. Yeah, Gregory says, break out the pitchforks and torches. Yeah, we need some pitchfork and torch t-shirts. Yes, I'm speaking to you. You know who I'm talking to. Right? You think they know who I'm talking to?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought I'd take a look at SNAP enrollment percentage on county population. And so if you look at that first map of the United States, the darker the red, the more enrollment there is in those benefits. The greener it is, the less there is. So you pretty much got the wheat belt, right? Kind of the center of the United States, Wyoming, Montana, kind of some of those places there. I also found it interesting, if you looked at food stamps by ethnicity, Afghans received the greatest amount, followed by Somali, Iraqi, Dominican, Caribbean, Native American, Puerto Rican, Cuban, African American, Arab, Cambodian, Pacific Islanders. You get all the way down, third from the bottom, 8.6% to white Americans. Let's see here. Design2C says currently APN estimated 3.7 million people that filed for asylum. So now add 3.7 million who filed for asylum to the 20 million that they're saying already exist, right? Hey, Skanes girl, welcome in. Helen says American taxpayers' money should only go to the American people. I would take that a step further. Not only should it only go to American people, but I would also tell you that it should be decided at a local level. It should not be decided at the federal level. Mo says that map looks skewed by population. Well, I'm sure there's, just like every statistic, Mo, there's all kinds of stuff that goes in there, and you are looking at the population centers. But look over there in California, they got a lot of green over there too. Maybe it's just those Los Angeles area, which is in the center there. Anyway, I find it interesting.
There is quite a bit of green over in California.
Yeah. Tag, did you see the investigative report that the race was being changed to white in order to skew the crime statistics? No, I didn't, but I would love to read that and wouldn't be a bit surprised. Not even in the least. Y'all threatening to pick on this. These are some of the rebuttals to some of the people on social media. So, there's a lot of people talking about, we're going to go riot. We're going to go, and this is just some of the people's thoughts, which again, I want you guys to think about divide, right? Y'all threatening to pick on white people and steal their groceries. I can tell you that directly translated to a no tag limit open season, please don't play with these Southerners. We always know that Trump plays chess, and while the Democrats play checkers, if the government shutdown lasts more than 41 days, Trump can make permanent cuts that he wants to make with Doge. The Democrats can't do anything about it. I say leave it and shut down. Well, the fact of the matter is, anybody noticed the government shutdown? Because it's had zero impact on my life. And furthermore, has anybody noticed they've stopped taking taxes out of your check?
Nope. They're still
doing that. So the government ain't shut down, right? If you don't contribute, you don't get to vote, which is an interesting theory. There's people out there saying, hey, listen, if you're on the system, if you're being paid by the taxpayer, that only the taxpayer gets a vote. How do you feel about that?
I think that that's not fair, because some people, it's legit help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also think that creates a slippery slope, right? But it says you don't get to mooch off of the system, then demand more from the people that are the system. Does anyone disagree with what this guy has to say? Senator Rand Paul said 42 million Americans are on food stamps, an outrageously high number. Junk food has no place in this program. We could slash the rolls by 25% with real reform. How many able-bodied working age men are on these benefits? Why just men? I don't like statements like that. Why just men? Does it mean because you're a female that you can milk the system and men can't? I don't really like that statement. Socialism 101. If you give the government the power to feed you, you give them the power to starve you.
Ooh, ain't that the truth?
That is the 100%. Yeah, 100% the truth. Let's see. Well, what I see, what will happen and predict is that Trump will export the illegals to Canada. Your thoughts? I don't know. I have not given that Northern Girl Hobbies much thought. I don't really know why. I don't know what the benefit of that would be, other than to maybe work harder on crashing the country so he can make it the 51st state. I don't know. Let me see here. The average, this was actually found this post today. The average female who gets no free food from the government is 146 pounds. The average SNAP recipient is 211. Nobody could benefit from a nice fast more than SNAP recipients. Ouch.
Ouch.
Yeah. Why are over 40 million people on SNAP? It's not the 1930s. We're not in a depression, says Glenn Beck. I have a hard time believing that many people actually need food assistance in America.
40 million?
Yeah. You know how many working age Americans there are?
No.
220 million. Right. Working age Americans. Let's see here. Helen says only an American citizen should be able to vote. 100% agreed. But I don't trust the voting system at all. I don't either. I don't trust the two-party system either. I mean, it's kind of, you guys have never watched it, go watch the Jones Plantation on YouTube. It's just type in the Jones Plantation. It does a really great job of showing you how they've tricked us into the two-party system and how really all we're choosing is between two different slave lords. Right? We don't even have the coupon here system that you folks have. This is all sheer insanity. It is sheer insanity. Thanks to the Schumer shutdown, we now know that 42 million people are on weekly food stamps. I think this is a really great point, that it was kind of hidden how many people were on it, but 42 million people are on food stamps, and the majority are not even Americans. People receiving SNAP food, SNAP benefits, this is a blessing in disguise. When you lose those benefits, it's going to be the best thing you ever saw. People don't understand the value they have. I love this point. This program is keeping a lot of people unmarried and uneducated. And I think the sense of achievement, the sense of accomplishment, this, is wonderful for the human spirit. And I think I agree with this statement a lot, that there will be some people through this process who are forced to go out there and do for themselves, and they'll find empowerment in it,
Good.
And so that'd be a good thing. Just got paid and noticed that all my taxes were still the same. But if the government shut down and no one's getting any benefits, where's the rest of the money going?
It's just going into a honey pot.
Yeah, into an account. So that as soon as some election goes off or something happens or the government doesn't shut down, they back pay everybody.
Wouldn't they?
Probably will. My solutions to the SNAP abuse scandal are simple and clear. Shut it down. Require everyone to reapply for benefits. This is really important, you guys. This is setting the stage. Restrict what can be purchased: ground beef, milk, eggs, fruits, vegetables, basics only. The result, applications would plummet and people would have no choice but to learn how to cook and to provide for themselves. Newmax's Rob Finnerty adds that the only way to truly fix the crisis is to federalize it.
To federalize it.
Think about that. Only way to truly fix the crisis is to federalize it. Give the government more power.
Right.
The government, and this is coming from Newsmax, the government straight up forced people to line up for vaccines. It is certainly capable of enforcing a strict new SNAP EBT vetting process nationwide. Bad example, but maybe a great example. They forced people to get in line and take vaccines, and within 2 months, something like 67% of the country was vaccinated. You have to do the same thing here. You can federalize it. You don't leave it up to the states. Where's the vetting process? It's like voter ID, and this should be easy. Sharpshooter says our founding fathers were against the two-party system. Yep. Design 2C says, don't forget how Title I schools now feed the kids 2 to 3 meals per day and send backpacks home for the weekend. Yeah.
Of food.
Yeah. A little known fact is that SNAP benefits will cover seeds. I rarely hear people utilizing that benefit. See, that's a great thing. I think they should leave seeds on there. People can learn to grow their own food. And it doesn't surprise me that you're not seeing people using it. As of July 2025, the working age population of the United States is 212 million individuals aged 15 to 64. Okay, and for reference, in 2022, it was 207 million. Now, bring this up just to kind of do the math. So if there's 212 working age adults in America and 43 million are receiving SNAP benefits, that's 20% of the population. Yep. But 20 million of those, they claim, are illegal. So that's 10% of the U.S. population. So 10% of the United States population is receiving benefits from the SNAP program. Okay. That's 1 in 10. And that's not really an unhealthy level. Remember earlier I talked about the cart of how of every 10 people, 9 people are pulling the cart and 1 people is riding it. So in this particular case, their own numbers say that Americans aren't just fat, lazy people. There are people out there taking advantage of it, but they aren't nothing but all these fat, lazy people who don't do anything. Some of them are in real need, and their own numbers show that it's 1 in 10. Right. So my question is, why are they making them the bad guy? Right.
The SNAP people.
Right. Well, again, go to social media, go to Twitter, go to Facebook, and all of the videos you see are women, Americans. You don't see immigrants speaking different language. They speak clearly, right? Women, and predominantly African-American women, on these videos. You don't see a lot of that other stuff. When their own numbers that they're coming out with, at least half of them are illegal immigrants.
Right.
You don't see any of that stuff. Maybe you could make the argument, well, those people aren't going to get on social media and put a post out. I don't know. They get on social media and burn flags. They get on social media and, do Muslim prayers in the streets 5 times a day. They go and do a lot of stuff, all over the country. So I think our attention's being divided. I don't think that it is quite as it is portrayed. And I feel like we're just simply watching. Good job. Did you guys see what just happened right there? Did you guys see what just happened right there? B just picked up my cheese stick. Tag picked up my cheese stick. Killed a fly with it. Thanks, babe.
Why is it sitting there? It's not like you're going to eat it.
Anyway,
it's in a wrapper.
I think the reason these things go on is because they want us divided, and I think it's part of the plan. That's right. I think they want us hating each other, and that's what sells, which is why you're not hearing the whole other side of the story. And even in their own numbers, it's 50% of the story. And what do you bet their numbers are right? 0 chance, right? We're getting the narrative they want us to see. We're not getting the whole story. I would really encourage everybody out there, to, not to get it all twisted, and let's not hate, right? Because you're not getting the whole story. They're purposely trying to make us all mad. Do we need reform in the program? 100%. Should able-bodied people be able to get it? Maybe at some income level, but you should still probably be required to work. I don't know what the answer is. So it certainly needs to be, but I also don't think all of the anger they shove down our throats at these fat women on social media claiming they're, $6,000 a month in benefits, you are being programmed to one very small set of a much bigger picture. And I'd encourage you really to do, some of your homework. News stories all over the country continue to remind us how America is divided. And I think that divide is on purpose. I mean, therefore I am said, don't get it twisted. They ain't fighting for healthcare for you. They ain't fighting for healthcare paid by you for the illegals. They're fighting to get their funds back, not for you, right? They're fighting for control. They're fighting for power. They're fighting for those votes. We see here, Gregory says, there are those who truly need some help, but it has been misused and abused for far too long and will hard to change the mindsets of many of their recipients. 100%. And I wouldn't even try to claim there isn't a lot of fraud that's going on. But if you really look at the fraud being created by American citizens, that problem is such a minute problem as comparative to the benefits being paid to immigrants, or our national debt, or there's a million things out there that morph it in. It ain't even close. Right. Mo says, where are the poor white people making videos? That seems to be a problem too. There's just not a lot of them. I mean, there's some out there, and I've yet to see a white male make a video. I've seen some white females make a video, but it's predominantly not that. Northern Hobby says many brainwashed. Go back to the early days of the TV to broadcast it consistently. Repeat messages is brainwashing, along with what they put into our water, food, and everything else.
Yeah.
RN says the two-party system, a house divided, cannot stand. Mo says, my guess is drug users are heavy users of these two. Yeah. And again, I will be the first to tell you there's a lot of fraud. We absolutely should fix that fraud. There should be way tougher requirements. The videos you see on TV of these women and 4 grocery carts full of lobster and steak should not happen. But I am telling you guys, I have dug through the numbers. I'm going to continue to share them tonight. I have dug through the numbers, and you are not getting the whole story. We're getting a one snapshot. It's just like when you go turn on the news, what do you see, right? Sex and death, because that's what sells. You're just getting one small piece. You're not getting.
Well, then they give them this money, and then they go to Walmart and they buy junk food, which is making people's health struggle. They're buying Fukushima lobster and
but babe, here's the thing: is that if they get them eating shitty food, and if they're sick, if they have more illness, they'll require more benefits.
Getting them on
if they require more benefits, right? Then there's more taxpayer dollars, more reasons to justify these people's position in government.
Yep.
Right. Let's see here. Bill says, you would be shocked if you seen how many vets shop in the commissary that receive SNAP. I was shocked. So this is a really great point. So would I be supportive of soldiers receiving SNAP? 100%. This is the silliest thing ever. Why is it that our soldiers, first of all, have to get SNAP? Let's start right there. The second thing is taxpayer dollars fund 100% of their salary. What's the difference?
Right.
I mean, seriously.
They went to work.
Yeah. They're working. They're funded by taxpayer dollars. Now you're arguing which program it comes out of. Right. Let's see here. Helen says the American taxpayer pay for all the champagne and caviar dinners for all of the government. Great point, Helen. We're doing it to every politician. Right. And every single politician is on a taxpayer subsidy. How are they any different? What a fabulous point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yet no one complains about their spending. Right. So that's what I'm saying. So be careful. Who are we hating? Who are we getting upset about? Because again, I say not only are you not telling the story, but you're talking about 1 in 10 citizens in the United States, and look at the amount of money spent, which we'll cover tonight, the amount of money spent on that efforts versus the amount of money, to Helen's point, that's spent for caviar dinners and champagne for governments and government fly all over the place, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's just a fabulous point. So I wanted to take a look at, compared to the SNAP, what are we spending in foreign aid, right? The money we send to other countries. Because I think the argument can be made, money spent on American citizens is better than money spent on foreign nations.
Just sending it to them for what?
For foreign aid, military aid mostly.
Oh, for whatever.
For whatever. And so in 2023, which is the last year that was that I could access that was updated, 2024 and 2025 had pending still on it, was $99.8 billion. So $100 billion is being spent every year on foreign aid. And, if you look at like Ukraine, for an example, since Russia invaded Ukraine, we've sent them 175 billion. So you're talking billion. So you're talking about a food stamp program that spends $130 billion a year. Half of that, right, just rounding numbers, goes to illegal immigrants. So if you look at what's going to American citizens, is about $50 billion a year. Yet we're spending $99 billion a year in foreign aid. We've spent $175 billion to the Ukraine. Would I rather my money be going to American citizens or going to Ukraine or going to Zimbabwe? And if you look down on it on an average year, countries like Kenya receive it, and Afghanistan, Congo, Nigeria, Somalia, Ethiopia, Egypt, Jordan, Israel, Ukraine. Hey, RN, good night. Good to see you. Gregory says, these people are making videos, have cell phones and some type of internet access, must not be too destitute. Agreed 100%. But I think, again, Gregory, I would tell you that the system, they took the bait and they did it, right? But makes it very, very easy for the system to be milked. And I think they want it that way, right? And they want these videos coming out there saying we're going to eat white people. And they want those things. 172 countries receive foreign aid every single year. Nito says, back in 1984, that was an interesting year, right? When I needed the help, what I qualified for was really not enough to live on for myself, pregnant and 2 children. And there's a great case right there. We should be taking care of our community. If there's a mom who the dad bailed on, whatever it is, has a couple kids, can't take care of them, end work, whatever it is, this is what the community needs to do. And we need to be able to maintain that ratio of 9 people pulling the cart, 1 person riding in the cart.
Right.
Right. And I
1
think,
in 10.
right. I mean, and I don't know if that's the perfect number, right? I mean, you need to go through
the
all
majority.
of it, but the vast majority should be pulling the cart all the time, which is not what's happening anymore.
No.
Yep. Foreign aid is money to be funneled back into government officials' pockets. Yep. I don't believe they're giving money away. Yeah, and they do it, kind of tricky. Like there's a lot of the aid that went to Ukraine, for the example, that really went to as American defense contractors, who then took that money and gave weapons to the Ukraine, right? Yeah. B would love this. I'm teaching Alex how to vacuum seal. Oh, cool. Welcome aboard, Alex.
I love that.
Welcome aboard. Yeah, Nito said, I grew a garden to supplement. And good for you, right? Look at those things you benefit from now because of it. Let's see here. So many still don't get it. The Dems intentionally left the border open, flooded the nation with tens of millions of illegal, harbor them in sanctuary cities, refuse any election security, and encourage the illegals to vote, and they steal elections, which has all been proven has happened, right? We are under attack from within. The Democrats have waged war against the American people and imported tens of millions of illegal voters so they can retain power. This is why they don't want Trump and ICE to deport the illegals. This is why they don't want election security and voter ID laws. This is treason on the highest level. We are already at war. People don't seem to understand that there's not going to be any coexistence. Either we defeat the deep state here and now, or they will gain control, and humanity will be destined to a life of slavery at the hands of true evil. Everyone's got to wake up. I found that post right there very true, and I do think that it's really now a case between tyranny and freedom, and it's really going to come down to that. And they want it, and they're going to fight for it. I shared with you guys last week what's going on just right here in my state, but I'll tell you it's going on everywhere, which I'll give you some examples of tonight. But and then as I continue to think through it, maybe step one was to flood America with immigrants. offer insane benefits to enrage the American people to identify a bad guy. If we can get American blaming other Americans, repeat posts on a loop that divide by race and class, shut down all benefits and create unrest and violence, inform benefit recipients that they must go back through the process to continue benefits, that they must verify identity, citizenship, and need, which all of those things are happening right now as we speak. Then here's the theory, right? Maybe then we can introduce a new software to centralize this information for the ease of the needy. Central bank digital currency, digital ID, all rolled into one, right? Then we can apply that new system to every federal and state employee, retiree, and student. Bam, 60% of the population has made the switch to a digital ID and a CBDC, and they did it to a thundering applause so they could get their benefits back or their retirement check, or their kids could go to, public schools.
Yep.
Right. Don't
keep their job.
Yep. Don't be distracted. Let's see here. Gregory says taking care of each other should be the responsibility of a civil society. This I agree with. Another way to look at these people making videos, they can't eat, but they are still so addicted to tech, they won't even consider dumping their phone. And very few even think this is a problem anymore. Yeah, what's crazy, Mo, is I've watched a lot of videos where people say it's a universal human right to have a cell phone.
Huh.
It's so crazy, when I talk to my kids, they don't know life without them. They were here when they were here, but I remember when, as a little boy, we got our first color TV.
Yeah.
It
was not a right to have a phone in the house.
Right. I remember when we got our first teen line, where there was a phone on the wall in the bathroom and it was its own separate number, and we could sit there and talk to our friends. What a big deal.
That, yeah.
You never had that?
No, because that was extra.
Agree. It was all an attempt to force digital ID, and it's going to work, guys. This is going on. It isn't just going on here. A lot of times you can see what's coming here by what's going on in Europe if you just follow some of the trails. But they are absolutely going to say, 100% certainty, they are going to say that we have got to go to a digital ID because we have to identify who's here legally and who's not.
Yeah.
We have to protect the American citizens. We got to protect their rights from these evil gangs and rapists and murderers and all of these things. And America's going to, to a thundering applause, let's do it. And boom, you got a digital ID. And then, okay, so now you've got a digital ID. Instead of making all of these databases that do all of these things, what we really need to do is combine the EBT benefits. Anybody getting any payout from the government directly to their EBT. It ain't for you, citizens. We're not taking your rights, just for the government, anybody on benefits, so that we can organize, we can be more efficient, so we can offer more to our customers and more to the people in need. We're going to link that together, right?
Yeah.
And that's how it happens. Yeah. And as soon as they do it for EBT, every veteran receiving benefits, every retiree, every person get with any of that kind of stuff, you're on it.
Yeah. It's convenient.
Yep.
They put it on there every month, same day every month.
Yep. That's right. And there it is.
It's guaranteed.
And what percentage of the population do you think will say, oh, no.
Nope, don't want it. I'll go get a job and get paid cash.
Yeah, for them it will. What about like the retirees? I got a lot of good friends who retired military, but when they say, well, you can't have it without it.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. What do you mean? I'm going to lose my health care? I'm going to lose my retirement that I spent, 27 years in the military for? I earned it. How many do you think will walk away? Not many. I can tell you that. Hicksraw 54 says, I remember when we got running water and indoor plumbing. Amazing. 10 days ago, Keir Starmer said that digital ID was just to stop illegal immigrants.
Good.
Right? As I said. Now they openly say it will be used for applying for jobs, for your school records, paying for daycare, collecting your pay slips, birth certificates, claim benefits, and even to apply for nursery, right? To even just apply for it to get in there. So let's break these down a little bit. Some things that I find super, super interesting in here. Collect your pay slips. It wasn't long ago and everyone said, oh, the craze, it's cheaper. Just go to direct deposit.
Yep. It was easier.
It was easier. That's right. And it also gave them more control.
Yep.
And here we are again. You're not going to be able to get paid. You won't be able to get paid, right? You won't be able to apply for a job if you don't have a digital ID, which has all of your history backed up on it, right? So an employer can absolutely say, oh, your health, your score is a 85, we would really rather have someone healthier. Right?
Yep.
Or your credit score is, or here's your school records, right? Transferring them. Then again, the last one on the list there was claim any benefit. Well, benefits a lot of things, and Social Security is not welfare. You earned it. You paid into the system the whole time, right? Retirement benefits for, government employees and workers, you earn those. You worked your whole time for them. But they will be the leverage. They will be the carrot that's hung over your head in order to get you to comply. And guys, this is not tinfoil hat stuff. It's going on right now. Right now, it's going on. Right? I mean, we just talked about last week how the World Economic Forum had a big meeting in Kansas about how Kansas could be the Aurora. We could be a beacon of light.
No thanks.
But just so you know, they're saying that about a lot of places.
Oh, are they?
Oh, yes. But that's because they want it everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? Digital ID cards are part of the commitment to Agenda 30 as signed by the UK in 2015. The Daily Mail put out a story saying digital ID cards could be needed to buy a pint at a pub, as ministers are accused of taking a big brother approach to civil liberties. Yeah, well, I can tell you if it takes, a digital ID, right, just to be able to buy a pint at the pub, the problem's not the beer, the problem's the system, right? Let's see here. Nito said, "I'm so glad I raised my children before cell phones were in everybody's pocket." Sharpshooter said, "I remember having a party line. There was no second phone line or cordless receiver. I had to talk to my friends 3 feet from my mom's chair." Oh, that sucks. I could totally see Sharpshooter in the corner too. Working on some kind of
just meet me under the bridge.
Yeah. I'll meet you at checkpoint Bravo.
Yeah.
Everybody just knows what that happens to be. Anyway. The digital prison will be implemented via the blockchain. Resistance means remaining rooted in the physical world. And this person goes on to talk about the things that you can do to counteract it by using cash and barter to grow some food, invest in silver and gold, own your home if you can, meet people in person, avoid Zoom whenever possible, using mechanical rather than electric vehicles. There's another big one. As vehicles move to electric, if you don't have that digital ID and ultimately a social credit score, because that's where it's going, right? At the end, that's the ultimate goal all the way at the end. If you don't have that, your electric car won't start.
Yikes.
You won't be able to go anywhere because you haven't done the right thing, right? Let's see here. Use privacy or dumb phones. I've talked to a lot of business leaders that, and maybe someday I'll find a way to do it. I think one of the greatest business models ever, if they'd ever let you get it off the ground, is to open a company called the Dumb Store.
The Dumb Store?
The Dumb Store.
That is for dumb stuff?
It's for dumb stuff. Dumb phones, dumb TVs, they just do.
It's just a television.
It's just a television.
So you have to go get cable for it?
I don't know.
Right now, TVs come with all these other
I don't know, babe. I'm
panels.
not an engineer, but all I'm telling you is that it would be. I think you could do well with a consumer. Now, I don't know that the world would ever let you get away.
Yeah, because that's the thing that they're going to that convenience.
It's not just convenience, babe. It's planned obsolescence. Your washer and dryer will not last as long as the one your parents bought.
Yeah.
There's way more moving parts. There's way more things going on in your cars. Look at your brand new Jeep that you got. Yep. You have so many things on it.
Yep.
And they do that stuff completely on purpose. Let's see here. ECB aims to launch CBDC in 2029. The European Central Bank plans to launch digital euro by 2029. Over the next 4 years, lawmakers intend to establish the necessary legal framework for its implementation. First comes digital ID, says Concerned Citizen. Next comes CBDC, followed by social credit score. Finally, your personal CO2 tracker. Right? That's how it's going to work. Let's see here. Bill Fallon says, "I remember standing in line to get my pay from the military." I remember standing in line, Bill Fallon, to get my pay from the military, and then them making me go to the next station, which was the old soldiers' home, which you were required to donate to which then, what came after that? Maybe you gave blood, if I remember right. It's been a while. Maybe you gave blood. Anyway, I think that was the circle before you could actually get paid. How do you think all of this will affect, say, the Amish? Well, I think that they could make a case for digital ID. I got to know that you're a citizen, that you belong here. They'll go through some, probably be tougher, but because of the religious side, probably harder to penetrate it, but they don't really need to. Because just like what I was talking about before, if they can just convert the EBT recipients to a digital ID and CBDC, now there's 20% of the population. Just like that, boom. Then you say, hey, since it's working so well, let's use all government employees. Boom. And pretty quick, you got 60 or 70%. And that's the way. And then there'll be no choice because it's the only way you can conduct business.
Yeah.
The Amish won't be able to go to the store to buy lumber. They won't be able to go to the store to get cloth for their dresses without the ability to pay. Right? So they I think it kind of get it trapped. Since many appliances are now smart, it is entirely possible that your appliances could be disabled. Yep. You've used too much energy today, Mr. Tag. You cannot wash. Shut it off.
I'm not going to anyway.
Yep. Shut it off. Yep. And don't forget, you guys, back during COVID, right? The World Economic Forum said we need digital ID to see who has been vaccinated and who hasn't been vaccinated. They've already said they'll do it. I would 100% anticipate that is coming down the pipe. And ironically enough, Trump's not opposed to it.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So moving on, I'm not going to talk a lot about Candace Owens. I know a lot of people think she's a kook, but there's a lot of interesting stuff that's come out lately. I happen to like her. She's gotten lately pretty fiery, but she reports that on 9/4/2025, an Egyptian, I don't know if you guys read this or not, but an Egyptian airplane dropped off military subcontractors in Provo, Utah, and left the day Charlie was actually assassinated. So there were some Egyptian commandos basically that came in the day before Charlie was assassinated and left the day after. And they're saying, what in the world are they doing, over here?
No, I thought it was the day and left the day Charlie was assassinated.
Yeah. So they flew out that same day. And anyway, there's a lot on
this. And the plane was hidden, right?
Yeah. Third plane revealed Egyptian military contractors on the ground in Utah during Charlie Kirk's assassination. What's really going on and why is our own FBI covering this up? This is huge, and it's all starting to be exposed. The military contractors were allegedly dropped off at the airport in Provo, Utah by UVU College before Charlie was shot on a classified military mission. The plane arrived before Charlie Kirk's assassination from 9/4 and flew back on 9/11 without the Egyptian military contractors back to Egypt. The cover story was that the plane had to travel all the way to the U.S. just for maintenance, which does not make sense because it's from Egypt, halfway across the world. Why come to the U.S.? I think that's, interesting for sure. I think that there is a lot of stuff going on, redacted. A lot of them are reporting that it don't make sense. They're still saying, I doubt we will ever know the truth. I don't know if there's a lot of suspicious stuff going on with Erica. I don't know if any of it's true or not. I did find the comment that she made yesterday. Yesterday. Interesting when she said, and I quote, "No one will ever replace Charlie, but I do see some similarities of my husband and J.D. Vance, Erica Kirk."
That's weird.
Isn't that kind of weird? I'm a girl. I think it's weird. No?
Yeah, that's weird. So she's backing him.
Yeah, I mean, this is a month after,
Not even.
Yeah, not even a month, Let's see here. They even make the lie obvious. Let's see. Official cover-up. Kash Patel screamed at Tulsi Gabbard during a cabinet meeting and stopped investigations into foreign and domestic involvement into Charlie's assassination. This report is all over. The Daily Mail has talked about it. InfoWars has talked about it. There's a lot. Redacted is talking about it, about how Kash Patel says we are not going to do any more investigations. We are done with our investigations. And then there's people like Tulsi Gabbard who are trying to push the issue. But they do say that Kash Patel is trying to block Tulsi Gabbard's investigation into those foreign governments' involvement into Charlie Kirk. Was first reported by Alex Jones, but now it's being covered by many other places. And again, I don't think we'll ever actually know what happened. And a jaw-dropping development, Tulsi Gabbard has also confirmed the official probe into Anthony Fauci for perjury and his role in funding gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Institute of Biology as part of the efforts to uncover the origins of COVID-19. Also, let's see, RFK said arrest Bill Gates for aiding the enemy and spraying chemtrails on the Americans. It's also official. The storm has broken. Congress has opened an investigation into the Gates Foundation following the money trail that winds through the global health, corporate power, and the push for total control. For years, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been the lone voice warning about Gates' hidden agenda, and now his decades-long fight is paying off. I also found it interesting that RFK is backing off of his Tylenol claims. Did you see that?
Huh.
Yeah, I didn't put a slide in here about it, but he was talking about how it's suggestive, but it's not proof. And again, those were his words. But let's see here. Gregory says people bring their aircraft from all over the world to Duncan Aviation in Lincoln, Nebraska to get repaired. I don't have any idea, Gregory. I don't think we'll know the truth. I can tell you that everything that I've read, then the official narrative makes no sense to me. You're not a skinny kid in skinny jeans with a 30-06 rifle stuffed down your pant leg, running down, a flight of stairs. It's just, you're not jumping off a building with it in your pants and landing and both knees bending and rolling. And you're not going to disassemble it and then run to some woods and reassemble it and wrap it in a towel. There's just a lot, and I could go on and on, but again, I don't think we're ever going to know. So it probably doesn't matter. Why is nobody covering what's happening with the banks right now? This was an interesting story too. So apparently over the last couple of weeks, there have been about $50 billion in requests from banks for emergency funding because of liquidity problems. And so basically the only thing I can attribute this to is people are taking more and more money out of the bank. And so people are having a harder time getting their money out of the bank. And so there's this big liquidity crisis that's going on right now. And again, if you look at that bottom right-hand corner, if you look at those, those graphs, you'll see all the way back. There was a big spike, and the spikes today aren't as big as it's ever been. However, there's still a liquidity issue. So I would really recommend to everybody to pass some cash on hand, because you just don't ever know. I can tell you from someone who has experienced it during the 2008 crisis, where I went Monday morning to get money out of the bank and the bank was closed. And it took me a couple weeks before I could access any money from my account. So I would encourage everybody to do something about it and, take that responsibility, into your own hands. You agree, B?
I agree.
All right. Talk a little bit about the Hurricane Melissa. That was pretty interesting. Went through Jamaica, one of the biggest hurricanes of all time. And what I found interesting is I'm sure the World Economic Forum is very disappointed. And they're disappointed because they had chosen to start construction to make Jamaica, and specifically New Kingston, a smart city starting in 2025. Right? This ain't just Hurricane Melissa. This is Operation Popeye. A viral clip out of Jamaica is blowing up as the local man claims the storm hammering the island isn't natural at all, but part of the U.S. weather control program first used during the Vietnam War to seed clouds and flood enemy routes. He says Melissa has been too still and too obedient, and that all the military ships crowding the Caribbean aren't there for aid, they're there for control. And according to him, the talk of oil and minerals is just a red herring. The real war, once they have their banking system in your country, it doesn't matter who your prime minister is. Those same families control your country. New Jamaica, Kingston, was scheduled to become a smart city that would roll out in 2033. So they wanted to start the transformation from regular city to 15-minute city, smart city, sometime in 2025, and be finished by 2023. I did spend plenty of time Googling it, and I can tell you it's 100% true. Vision 2030 Jamaica is a development plan with the World Economic Forum to make them the Aurora they were talking about here in Kansas, right? And so, I guess what would be the first thing you would do if you wanted to rebuild a city? Probably tear the old one down, right?
Probably.
That's what I was thinking. But they're going to have to wait. Oh, never mind. Mother Nature did it for them. Just like in Maui, right? Just like in California, right? And look at these poor people, right? Absolute poor people. I took a couple pictures for you guys. Yep. But less demolition costs, I guess. Trump moves key White House personnel to hardened military bases for their safety ahead of potential deep state civil war, says Alex Jones. This is the plan. The Democratic deep state is setting up a civil war scenarios where Trump will appear as Hitler 2.0 when he reacts to their lawless chaos. So what he's saying here, B, basically is that the Democrats are going to create so much civil unrest that when Trump is forced to react and crack down, then they can blame him for being the next Hitler. Is basically what they're saying. Let's see here. The president must address the nation before the EBT SNAP benefits run out on Sunday, triggering civil unrest. Mm-hmm. Do you understand? This is U.S. Homeland Security News. U.S. Homeland Security News. Alert. Do you understand we are fighting a new civil war right now? The red states versus the blue states, Democrat militants versus Republicans, MAGA, and federal forces. And I think this is 100% true. I think the war has been going on behind the scenes. It's just not what civil war, we're led to believe in TVs and movies. It's not bayonets, charging a position as it was in the first Civil War. And it won't be like World War I or World War II. It's being done digitally. It's being a big chess game played behind the scenes. I covered it last week, but I wanted to stress to you guys again, Pentagon readying thousands of guard for reactionary forces as U.S. mission widens. We know that they're putting rapid reaction National Guard teams in every single state, and they hope to have this completed in all 50 states by April, which we talked about last week. Let's see here. Conspiracy or not, they will take advantage of it. 100% they will take advantage of it. And again, here's lots of articles telling you that this is true. The New York Times reported that the Trump officials move into military readiness. The Independent says top Trump official Miller, Noem, and Rubio adopt bunker mentality with housing reserved for military officers. The Atlantic says top Trump officials are moving into military bases. And Axios DC says Trump officials flock to DC military housing over safety fears. Donald Trump tweeted later, for all the great law enforcement patriots who would like to join the world's premier law enforcement task where police officers are fully allowed and empowered to do their job and battle crime, apply today to join the Make DC Safe Task Force. You will be at the cutting edge of defending our nation's capital city from all the dangers and threats that will be able to join the elite agencies of your choice. If you have strong experience, you can begin on the task force immediately. And boy, does this sound like the browncoats of Nazi Germany, right? This is a very dangerous thing, a nationalized police force. I mean, there's a reason why they want federal and state separation. Any power not specifically given to the federal government lies in the hands of the state. That's the way that it's supposed to be. It's the way it was always supposed to be. And I don't like comments like this. This, to me, is just super dangerous. And you got to remember, even if Trump is all good-hearted and doing it all for the right reason, he's setting precedents for the next administration. Yeah. And the next administration. And the next administration, right? Helen says they are all getting ready for civil unrest because they are purposefully creating civil unrest. I agree with you. All the way back to the beginning of our life tonight, when we talked about the divide, why they're only showing, women, primarily black women with, 6 grocery carts running through the store. Why everything is being put, there in front of us. Just for some fun, I don't know if you know that lab monkeys carrying dangerous viruses escaped after a crash in Pennsylvania. That's what they were talking about earlier. The animals were infected with hepatitis C, herpes, and coronavirus. I wonder what kind of coronavirus. And fled when the transport container overturned. Authorities warned residents to avoid contact. The monkeys may act aggressively. Disease lab escaped after mystery crash in an 85% black town. A trunk hauling herpes and hepatitis infected lab monkeys from Tulane University to Florida didn't collide. It just flipped over in Heidelberg, Mississippi, a town that's 85.4% black. No other vehicle or driver name, no company, nothing. Tulane swears that the monkeys weren't infected, yet officials said they were destroyed, not recaptured, not euthanized, destroyed. As the man said, destroyed sounds like a word you'd use for evidence. One monkey is still on the loose, and the driver didn't take the direct I-10 route. He detoured down I-59 straight into poor black town. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, the man said. I'm a theorist. I gather facts. Coincidence or something being tested again? That's exciting, right?
No, that's kind of scary.
Yeah,
it's still on the loose.
Yeah, this one really pissed me off. Rand Paul, who I've been a huge supporter of, said, I support bold reforms in Social Security to guarantee its long-term solvency with Americans living longer. Real change is not negotiable. That's why I have proposed raising the full retirement age to 70.
Yikes.
So retirement right now is 67. Life expectancy is 76.1. So 50 years of work for 9 years of freedom. Does this sound like a good deal to you?
Right.
And so I thought, as we get towards the end of this, that I would actually go through some numbers with you guys. So I don't know if you know this or not, but is Social Security a good deal? So employers contribute 6.2% of the employee's wage to Social Security. To that employee's Social Security, employees contribute another 6.2% to their own Social Security. That's 12.4%. If you take the average person making $66,000 a year, that means that $8,200 a year are put into the Social Security account. If a person works from 18 to 67, which is the current retirement age, right? You can't receive benefits till then. So if you work through that, that would be 49 years of work. Your total contributions would have been $401,800, right? The average Social Security benefit is $22,800 per year. If the average lifespan is 76.1 years, that means the average benefit duration is 9.1 years. So on average, you're going to receive benefits for 9.1 years. If you take the average benefit of $22,800 by 9.1 years, that means you've received $207,480. So you have contributed on your behalf or for yourself was $401,000. What you're going to get on average is $207,000, which is a negative 49% return on your investment.
Oh my gosh.
So you're going to get about half of what went in, right? So to summarize, you worked 49 years to enjoy retirement for 9 years to realize a return of half of what you invested. So who gets the other half? And not just the other half. You got to remember, you're taking that $22,800 per year and you're investing it, and you're making, interest. And so who's getting the benefit of the interest? The stock market does nothing but grow. It's a ceilingless stock market. Who gets to reap those rewards? They say that at a 7% return, your money should double every 7 years. You had it in the market, for 49 years and lost half of your money. This is a horrible deal. Why would anybody sign up for this? This is the worst investment ever, and all this worse than buying used cars. So
doesn't seem very good.
Yeah.
I mean,
no.
Especially the way you put it.
Yeah. And Mo said, Social Security is a great deal if you're the government. That's right. Look at the money. And this is just basic math, guys. You can find this is super, super easy stuff, right? Yeah. Hakesraw 54 said, worked all my life to pay into Social Security and I get $488 a month. Yeah, the national average is $1,900 right now. But how crazy is that? And guys, Social Security is not welfare. You paid into the system your whole life, and according to the national average today, you're going to pay in, $401,000 over the course of your life to receive $200 back, and that's again just today's numbers. That sounds like a good deal, right? No. But here I'm going to leave the live with this because it's at 2 hours. I do have some actual good news for you.
Yay!
You'll love this, right? So the share of young adults living with a parent is now skyrocketing. So when you don't have any money and you got such a poor investment, your kids will be at home and they can work so that they can help you pay the bills.
No, they don't.
That's the good news, right?
48%.
Yep. You're about 48% of young adults are now living with their parents. So, right. Get more taxpayers in the same household seems like more revenue to me.
Unless they don't work and then they're just taking care of the farm. And then you get to
get somebody to help you because you won't be able to afford a nursing home.
No.
Right?
Well, no, we'll have to build our own nursing home.
All right, babe, let's get out of here. You got any parting words?
Are you proud of your efforts?
Oh, that's a good one. Are you proud of your efforts?
Yeah.
With the bees?
No. I need help with the bees. That's a lot of work. I'm very weak in my old age.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. What?
Yeah, guys, I think my parting advice to you guys is go have fun. Don't get distracted. Make sure you take time for fun. Enjoy your day. Be silly. Have a good time. Because at the end of the day, life is short. You can't spend your whole day, worried. You can't do all of that. But I'm telling you, they are coming for it. So you know what? Focus now. Get involved locally. Right? Try to break those layers of stroke. Try to get a little tiny bit freer. Try to make your own systems. Try to control all of those things. because unfortunately the grip's going to continue to tighten. But until we do it again,
Tag out.
be out. We'll see you guys.
Hold the line.
You're a dork.